Welcome to the sixth module, Value Addition using AM or Value Addition using 3D printing. So, by now we have understood the various applications and the kind of 3D printing techniques which are being used in the industry. But now, in this module, we will learn that these technologies and the application together, what kind of arrangement are they finding with each other? And that is nothing but the value that the application derives from the particular additive manufacturing process. So in this module we will learn about why and how to add value. Then we will talk about the examples of some of the complex geometries which can only and only be produced through manufacturing techniques such as additive manufacturing. And then we will talk about customization. Customization is one of the uh, most popular value addition that has become popular with additive manufacturing. Of course, rapid prototyping. Rapid prototyping is the uh, quick way of prototyping your designs in a product development stage. So, how rapid prototyping is a value that is being added to 3D printing that we will try to understand as well. Then we will talk about lightweighting. Now, lightweighting is a very important I would say, trait of certain industries such as automotive, aerospace. So we need to understand how additive manufacturing can help us in making lightweight designs. And then part consolidation. Part consolidation is basically joining one or two parts together so that they can be produced as a single unit using 3D printing. So let's get started with understanding what is value. Now, earlier when 3D printing started, it was a technique where people could just make physical models back in the 90s, I'm talking about. But now it is much more than that. Using 3D printing, you can actually make uh, fully functional components which can be used for 5 years, 10 years of mission life or whatever product life you want to design the product for. And this has been possible because of the benefits that AM offers. And broadly, when we talk from the product perspective, these benefits uh, lie under two categories. One is the production benefits. So, the production benefits are the benefits which are incurred during the manufacturing of the component. Then, the other one is lifetime benefits. Now, lifetime benefits are the benefits which are incurred when the component is being used. So, it is throughout the lifetime of the component. For the time being, the component is in the service. Now, under production benefits, the various benefits are definitely reduced material consumption, shorter lead time. You can make components in a much quicker or in a much less time as compared to conventional manufacturing technique because there is no tooling required. And since there is no tooling required, there is no cost associated with tooling. Hence, your cost of manufacturing the components is more effective when we talk about certain number of volume or certain number of certain lead time or certain number of processes. Then the additive manufacturing happens to be more effective during the production, but of course it varies from one case to another as we have discussed earlier, and we need to identify the right case for that, and that is the idea why we want to understand all these benefits. Then definitely lower assembly cost. So one of the value additions that I mentioned a few seconds back, part consolidation. Part consolidation means joining one or two or more parts together. So when we are producing two, three components as a single unit, definitely we are eliminating assembly. And thus the assembly time and cost is being reduced. Now, when we talk about the lifetime benefits, uh, what you can do is you can actually make a very lightweight component using 3D printing. And that we have seen in few of the examples earlier. So you reduce the weight, and when you reduce the weight, it is easier. uh, if it is a static component or if it is a fixturing component, it is easier for it to be for the operator or the person handling the component to move from one place to another. Second, if the weight is reduced, it has a, a direct implication on the performance of the component in the aerospace and automotive industry. Then, as I told, uh, by reducing weight, you can improve performance, but not only by reducing weight. In some cases, you can improve performance by improving the heat transfer. In some cases, you can improve performance by improving the volumetric flow of the fluid flowing inside it. So there are multiple ways of improving the performance. So basically, you can make a very complex design which will help you to achieve a higher performance out of the same component. So you are basically extending the boundaries of your designing. Then uh, improved reliability. Now, since we are making components with lightweight, we are making components more stiffer, we are designing for 3D printing, and this all is resulting into improved reliability of the component when the component is being used. So value, all you can see from this particular slide, that value is not only being added when the component is being manufactured. If we switch to additive manufacturing, there are certain values which can be added, and the advantage of those values will be derived whenever the component is being used. So value is not limited to production, it is also limited to the use of the component. Now the question is how to add value. We have very well understood that what is value, but let's try to understand how to add value. So there are four stages of AM deployment. This particular uh, theory has been defined by Dr. Mark Saunders, the Vice President of Renishaw PLC. And the first stage starts with rapid prototyping and tooling, where we can make low volume parts directly from CAD. So if you have one or two components requirement, four components of requirement, whereas in your mass production stage, you will be 1 lakh, you will be having a very high volume requirement, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs. So mass production will be some other technique, but for rapid prototyping and tooling stage, you can adopt additive manufacturing. Then we have direct part replacement. Now this is for reproduction parts. Now if there are components uh, which are being used, but you need to supply it as a spare part. If some component gets worn out or gets damaged, then that component can easily be reproduced. But here we need to see that the geometry is not very complex, because uh, we cannot make any design changes, because the actual design has been made for a certain mass manufacturing technique. So we can only uh, make changes which the through which the end application is not affected. So that is why a fair non-complex geometry can easily be directly replaced and printed through 3D printing. Then we talk about part consolidation. Now part consolidation is about simplifying geometry, simplifying assemblies, and enhancing reliabilities. Now, for example, if I'm making a component through welding, and in 3D printing, I don't need to use welding. I can make the component without welding. So that is called as part consolidation. We will learn about that in the further sections of the module. And then in the end comes DFAM optimized. So in this case, you are redesigning the component for DFAM. So I hope you understand now how it works. First, you start with very basic components. You are only printing components for tooling or rapid prototyping, not the final component. Then you are making the final component but without any design changes. Then at part consolidation stage, you are making the design changes but only very minute design changes, such as joining the components together. And then in DFAM optimized, you also want to tap into the values that can be added at the lifetime use of the part. So that's why at DFAM optimized stage, you redesign the component for it. It's a completely new product design strategy. So this was about value. Now, in the next section of the modules, we will try to understand the various examples of these values that are being added. Thank you and see you in the next section.